Yo, good morning. How's everybody doing today? Man, I feel good. Got on a live stream early this morning, so we getting cracking with it early today. How's everybody doing? Welcome to DnL&x Fitness live stream channel. We have a good show lined up for you today. Today is Wednesday. Today's Wednesday. Yes. Spring break is either here or over with, but we in the month of spring. We're in the season of spring, so as it may be, you know, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna be seeing a whole lot of women getting nice and naked and oily and sweaty and cheeks hanging out more than ever. I mean, in the wintertime, we all know that 3 or 4s don't get cold, but that's okay. That's a story for another day. But we're in the springtime, weather finna get good. Hopefully you took care of your body, got your body right, trimming up, looking good and nice and all that goodness, but hopefully you're having a good day. And if you're not having a good day, we're going to let Mr. Child break it down to you.
Oh, you're having a bad day? Did you die?
I got shot.
But did you die?
And as long as you didn't die, as long as you're still alive and still here and able to make something happen greater with your life, pat yourself on the back, be grateful, show some gratitude, show some grateful to the most high up above or something greater than yourself if you don't believe in it. Or in that, but you know, just show some love, be grateful and be appreciative, because you could be dead and gone, or you could just be in some miserable situation, but you're not. You're able to look at the bright side of things and understand that your perception is what's gonna determine the outcome of your life. So let's go on a positive thinking. Let's get it. Let's get it. Since today we are contributing. If you want to contribute to today's show, we'll just get to that part right there. Cash App to Venmo. Cash App is Daniel2888. Venmo is Danny-Daniel-00. We are multi-streaming on about 5 different platforms now. We're on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, do me a favor. When you see that thumbs up that's going to pop up on your screen, if it ever does, maybe I got to use the other thumb. Let's try this thumb. If you see the thumbs up that pops up on your screen, do me a favor. When it pops up, hit that like button to get the algorithm out. It's greatly appreciated. And we're also live streaming on Twitch, Kick, Rumble, and now finally Facebook. Oh man, yes sir. Yes. We're also on the good old Facebook, and I don't think I can see my comments. Let me fix that for a second. Where are my comments? Where is it at? Multi-chat. There we go. Now I can see comments if people put them in. Oh man, I didn't have it up, so got to fix that right there. But we're multi-streaming on 4 or 5 different platforms. How many is that? YouTube, Twitch, Kick, Rumble, and Facebook. I was right, 5. So yes, if you give a comment on Facebook, I may or may not see it because I don't know if I have it put together on my chat yet. We'll find out after today's show, so I understand exactly how Facebook works, as I have never really used Facebook except for one time. So I'm looking at it right now, trying to see if I can see anything on it. But other than that, though, we're going to continue with today's show. Today's show we got for you, we are going to talk about the Islamic attacks that have been going on in these United States of America. Oh boy. Yeah. It's a sad one. Shit's going down. It's about to hit the fan. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, just going to take it one day at a time. You know, learn how to get better, do better, and all that good stuff. But we're going to get this stuff figured out, man. We're going to sit down and take a good look and see how all this is going. Let me get some music going in the background, too. Your boy needs some tunes in the background. So let me multitask over here. Oh, I ain't got to multitask. It's right there. Perfect. Yes. There we go. Anyway. So we're going to look at the Islamic attacks that's been going on in America. We're going to see exactly what's been going on, because a lot been going on lately. I mean, you can't ignore it. You can't deny it. And I always say, don't be afraid. Just understand what it is that you're seeing. Understand what is going on. Understand what your eyes is trying to tell you. Hopefully you're a reader. Hopefully you are a person that understands, you know, a higher up level of things, because I just want you to look at things from a bird's eye view. You know, tap into the God within yourself, because the kingdom of God is within thee. So somebody said, right? So you need to be able to figure out and understand that. That's what I want you to grasp and get a hold of. When you see all this chaos and turmoil and crazy stuff happening all along, man, understand, have a plan, stick to it, get to it, grind, keep going. But at the same time, you have to understand that you got to stay prayed up, meditated up, and, you know, take care of your vessel, take care of your body. And understand that there's a shield that needs to be protected, or that's going to keep you protected. Your answer, God will protect you. and your ancestors will protect you. So just know that you have protection. You got Yahweh, Yeshua, Thot, Melchizedek, and your ancestors. Everybody protecting you all at once. So just make sure that you keep in contact and speak to those and tap into, your higher self. So with that said, we got all this stuff going on. We had the shootout that happened, unfortunately, that happened in, shooting, I should say. It wasn't a shootout. That happened in Austin. We have just bomb threats that happened on airplanes in, was it Kansas or Atlanta or something like that? But we'll get to it. It's been a bunch of different things. And as you know, America went after Iran and stuff. And recently they said that they had came to an agreement or some negotiations or some craziness like that. And I'm just like, yeah, that's kind of crazy. To have some kind of agreement with somebody after you just killed their father. I'm like, yeah. I mean, honestly, if I was, Kamemi or whatever his name is, and then Trump tried to come at me and be like, hey man, hopefully you stop what you're doing because we don't want to take it further. I mean, like, bro, you just killed my dad. I would be looking at you like, hey,
FYM, fuck y'all motherfuckers,
I mean, just to call a spade, like, come on, bro, you can't just kill my peoples and then think I'm not gonna retaliate. But I digress. But at the end of the day, my main thing I want you to pay attention to, I don't care what it is or what the case may be. I look at things very black and white. I keep it as simple as possible to get rid of the confusion. Because one of the biggest threats of the enemy or Satan or the devil or evil, whatever you want to call it, is confusion, or reptilians. It's confusion, right? Confusion. They want to keep you confused and deceived. They use confusion, deception, and manipulation. I mean, they sound like the evildoers or the reptilians or the demons or Satan. They sound like a bunch of bitches when you think about it. Confusion, deception, and manipulation. They probably are a bunch of bitches. But anyway, when you look at everything from a black and white perspective, keep it simple. But what I also look at is I look at things on a deeper level. I pay attention to the spirit behind what is going on. A lot of people won't look at it this way, but this is how I look at it because it makes life a hell of a lot easier, and it makes it more palatable and to understand what we're seeing and what's going on. When you think of things that are happening, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Arab. I don't care if it's a Muslim or African, American, a Jew, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Haitian, Colombian, Chinese, Japanese, Pakistanis. I don't care, Afghan, Hindu, Indian, Kuwait, Bahrain, Jordan, Georgian, Australian. I don't care. As long as you can look and understand that there is a entity, a demon, a reptilian that is controlling these vessels, that will help you sum everything up. If you can look at it from that perspective, it makes everything so much easier. You'll be able to look and see what it is you're dealing with, who and what it is you're dealing with. As long as you can look and see that, don't judge the vessel, look at the spirit in the eyes. That's what you need to focus on. So I don't care if I don't care if they're from Iran. I don't care if they're from Israel or America. It doesn't matter where they're from. It doesn't matter what religion they are. At the end of the day, all these demons have the same spirit. They just are in different vessels accomplishing the same goal in a different vessel. It ain't black, it ain't white, it ain't Latino, it's none of that. It's a spirit that we're dealing with. That's what I want you to pay attention to. And that's what I'm going to drill into your head for every single time I'm on these live streams. I'm not going to stop drilling that. That's going to be my angle. Look at the spirit. Don't pay attention to the flesh or the vessel. Don't pay attention to it, because the vessel can look any way it want to look. We saw that in the movie Get Out. We saw that in Behind Her Eyes. We saw that in Skeleton Key. We saw that in, what is it called? I think They Cloned Tyrone is the name of that movie or whatever. Whatever the case may be, it doesn't matter. Always, always, always look at the spirit, not the vessel. If you look at the vessel, that's how you get confused. That's how you get tricked. And then they trick your ass with religion and everything. Because then you're like, oh, this religion. Oh, no, that religion. Oh, no, that person's a black. Oh, no, that person's a white. That person's an Arab. That person's Persian. Oh, no. The hell with all that shit. None of that matters. Cut and dry down the middle, bro. Is it of God or is it of evil? That's how you look at it at the end of the day. So anything that I cover, anything that I talk about, I don't give a damn if it's AI. I don't care if it's Islamic or the Islamist terrorist. I don't care if it's a war. I don't care what it is, financial, whatever we talk about. Just look at the spirit of what we're dealing with. Because just think, I did a video, whatever the last video that I did a video on something called astral projection. And I looked at a document, it's a CIA document, a gateway document. And in that document, they clearly spoke on, they made it very clear what they talked about in that document. They talked about astral projecting. And in that document, it was very clear. They said they had found some people who knew how to do this stuff and they were very well versed on it. Well, when you read the document from what I read to you, they said that there was cultures from places and times before who were very fluent in doing these things. And remember, astral projection is just a word coined by the CIA. It probably has a different name in a way and a time before time. But they told you in the document that people and cultures have been doing this for a very, very long time. And they've made it clear that people who were astral projecting and they got better at it, they realized that over time, simultaneously, that's what they said in the document, that people would stop drinking, smoking, they would stop drugging, they would get out of bad marriages, they would change places where they lived, they would get out of bad jobs. They were doing these different things and they were trying to figure out why they were doing these things. And when you think about it, it kind of makes sense. Because they were getting rid of all the low frequency stuff that was holding them down. And these people who were astral projecting, some people also say that whenever I looked at David Icke had mentioned that people who astral project, they see a lot of other different entities that are in the astral projective world, the spirit world, or whatever you want to call it, or the soul realm, or whatever you want to call it. They said that they seen a lot of reptilians in there. I'll just call them demons. And there's other demons or reptilians that are in that spiritual or that soul realm that know how to do this as well. And they've been around for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, and there's a bunch of them. And what they do is they feast on your low frequency energy. They call lush, I guess, whatever lush. They feed on your low frequency energy, right? And then if you astral project for too far or for too long, what can happen is, you could mess up and something could take control of your vessel, which we've seen this before. How many times have you seen a favorite artist, entertainer, actor, whoever the case may be? 1 minute you look at them and they're all Gucci, but then the next minute, like, you see them and you look in their eyes and something is missing. Like, man, why does this person look so gone? And you can't quite put your finger on it, but you know you're right. You know you're right. You're like, man, like, there's something in their eyes is missing. And you can't ever deny it. You can look somebody dead in their eyes and you can realize your favorite entertainer, or not favorite, but an entertainer or artist or somebody, at some point in time, when you've looked in their eyes, you realize that at some point, when they did this in their career, when they kept going up and 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 up, at some point, their eyes tend to glaze over like something's missing, something's gone. You can see it. I think it's astral projection. I believe that what's happening is they get to a certain point, they sign a contract, and in that contract, they have to, switch out that vessel for the consciousness. So now the influence that person has is being influenced by a either demon or reptilian spirit or something that's controlling that vessel. And that person now has to take a back seat, or their consciousness is put somewhere else and they may in something else, or whatever the case may be. But who we're seeing is not the same person, because you could see it missing in their eyes. You can't deny. Matter of fact, I'll show you somebody who I think at some point recently, who eyes have changed. And I'll show you right here, and you can see it too. You can't like ignore it. Let's see. Let me see if I can find this person. Cause it's like 1 minute their eyes was like and the next minute when you look in their eyes, it's like something's gone, something's missing. So let me see. Here we go. We got a picture of him right here. This dude. And I really enjoy this young cat. He's a young guy doing this thing. But and he always spoke about, you know, he would speak about Jesus and all that good stuff and everything and say all them good things. But just lately, I feel like, homie, I feel like they got him. I feel like something in his eyes nowadays is missing. I feel like something's changed in him. And hopefully he can get it back. Hopefully, you know, he can get that, you know, that soul back or that vessel back or whatever the case may be. But let me just show you the picture real quick. Where is he at? All right, here we go. I got him. Let me see if I can get to his face. Pause. No, I can't get to his face on this one. Grimy. Okay. But there we go. That's better. All right, right here. We all know who this individual is. This is good old Mr. Kai Cenat. We all know who this person is. Bam. There he is right there. There you go, buddy, right there. Young man right there. Young gentleman. I'm not a big fan of his streams, but you can't ignore the fact that the young man has influence, so shout out to him. All right, this is him when he had the dreads in his head. You know, he was coming up doing this thing and all that good stuff. You can see his eyes, you know, youthful young fella. You know what I mean? Like you can see in his eyes. He had that youthfulness to him. You can see in his eyes. He was still there. You know what I mean? All that energy and all that hyperness, you can see it in his eyes. You just look at him and tell he's all good. But then at some point, one day, bam, bro cut his hair off, and you could see that even in his demeanor when he talks, you can look at him and tell that something's missing. You can always look at him in his eyes and tell that something is missing. You know what I mean? Like another person, we could do that too. We can go to what's his name? Good Lord. What's the man name? Crazy dude. Kanye. We can go to Kanye. You can look at Kanye West eyes. Back in his Jesus Walks days. Let me go find a Jesus Walks Kanye. Let's find a Kanye Jesus Walks. I should put young Kanye. I shouldn't put Jesus Walks Kanye. But you can always see it in people's eyes, bro. You can always look and see it. Let's do a young Kanye. Here we go. We'll do a young Kanye. We'll do young Kanye, and then we'll look at Kanye today. And you'll be able to clearly see what I'm talking about in these people's eyes, how something is missing in their eyes. And for some reason, every time something is missing in people's eyes, they always mess with their hair. It's something with their head or their hair that they have to tamper with. So right here, we got a young Kanye right here. Where we at? There we go. So here we go. We got a young Kanye. You know, you can clearly tell he ain't had money yet. He was on his way. I think as you could tell his jaw was broke right here. So this is probably the through the wire years. You know, young, youthful Kanye. You know what I mean? Oh, they won't let me go all the way up on this one. I can't go up on that picture. But as we can see, you know, we got young Kanye. Youthful young fella. You know what I mean? Got young Kanye. You know what I'm saying? But then, as time goes on, they hit us with boom. This Kanye with blonde hair or whatever the case may be, but you can always tell that there's something missing in these people's eyes. And you can't deny it. The smile may look the same, but the eyes and the demeanor and the way they talk and things like that, things change up. And you can't ignore it. I mean, you can if you want to, but it's always there. So, with that being said, I just want to lay down that premise so you understand what it is that I'm referring to whenever I speak about these things. I want you to understand that when we talk about these things, okay? But before we do go any further, we do have to give a special announcement. And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, unfortunately, recently, Mr. Chuck Norris has passed away at the age of 86. I know. It's a very unfortunate situation. Shout out to Chuck Norris, man. A legend in his own right. I didn't know he was an Air Force member, so shout out to him for being in the Air Force. Thank you for your service, sir, and all that good stuff. He was an Air Force member, man, fought Bruce Lee and all that goodness. And you know, all the endless of Chuck Norris jokes. You know, one of the ones I seen on here, somebody said that death had a well, what is it? Death had a date with Chuck Norris. I was like, okay, maybe too soon, but that one was kind of funny. I get it. You know what I mean? So we all know, man. So shout out to Chuck Norris. Unfortunately, he lost his life, but 86 years, man, he got to make 86 years on this earth. So shout out to him. And yeah. So shout out to, oh, and one more, well, you know what? We'll go over one more person here in a second after this. But before we do have to give a special message from the one and only, the infamous Mr. Bob Ross himself. And he does have a message that he wants to give you all in case you are feeling down and out. Mr. Bob Ross is the white man with the afro that does miracle paintings and does a really good job. But today he has a message that he wants to give you people, and let's see what he has to say. Mr. Bob Ross, what is it that you want to tell the people on today's show? Here we go.
Dragons, imagine dragging these nuts across your forehead. All right, let's give this little fella a touch of light right here. You like dragons? Imagine dragging these nuts across your forehead. All right, let's give this little fella a touch of light right here.
Yes, sir. In case you like dragons, he said, why don't you drag these nuts across your forehead? All right. Oh man, so shout out to Bob Ross for making a appearance on today's show. And most importantly, today, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a special thing for you as well. Today, for the sponsor of today's show, real quick, before we go on any further with the show, we do have to give a shout out to the sponsor. And the sponsor for today's show is... Yes, sir. One and only, the Elliott Fitness channel. Yes, sir. Let's go. Shout out to Mr. D. Elliott Fitness himself, ladies and gentlemen. That is him right there. So if you need a workout, you can't get to the crib get to the crib. If you can't make it to the gym or anything, get a good exercise, your boy is right here with you to get good workouts in. If you're on YouTube, click the video tab on the YouTube section. We are uploading workout videos every single week just to keep you in shape, mind, body, soul, and spirit, to keep you intact, to let you know that your health is wealth and that your temple needs to be taken care of at all times. So if you can't get to the gym, your boy, yours truly, I got you. Show your boy some love and support as we take care of this vessel and we take care of the body, because you only got one. So don't mess it up. Don't ruin it, okay? So yes, sir. So shout out to the sponsor of today's show, yours truly. Now, we got one more message to make, which will be another person who has passed away recently. In case you didn't know or didn't hear, we have the OnlyFans creator has passed away at 43. Oh boy. Yikes. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so this one's going to be a little bit different. Now, if he has passed away, they say he passed away from cancer, whatever the case may be. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. In the world of AI, you just don't know. Because he got a lot of money. He got a lot of money. So he probably said that and was like, all right, bro, I'm going to fake my death and I'm going to do some things. But anyway, I digress. If he passes away, my question is, OnlyFans is going to be up for grabs. I wonder who is going to try to get a hold of OnlyFans now that it's up for grabs, because that's going to be a very, very interesting take to see who tries to grab OnlyFans. Now, somebody mentioned, as a matter of fact, somebody did mention, where is he at? Who was it? Somebody mentioned that somebody was going to try to grab OnlyFans. So I want to show you who somebody had mentioned. Let me see if I could find it real quick. They said that a particular person was going to try to grab OnlyFans. Now I don't know if this is true or not, because actions speak louder than words, and people just be talking out their neck. However, this guy right here says that Elon Musk has reached out and said that since the OnlyFans guy had passed away, that he may be trying to buy it. So let me see what he has to say right here, and let's hear him out. If I could find the sound button. There it is. It pops up right there at the last second. All right, let's hear what he has to say about the OnlyFans potentially being bought by Elon Musk, which actions speak louder than words, but let's just hear him out. Here we go.
Elon Musk has just come out and said that he's thinking about buying OnlyFans, but not for the reason that you might think. OF is a spicy adult website that incentivizes little girls to join and start making adult content the second that they turn 18. They're also the single biggest American contributor to APAC. Their owner just died today, and Elon said that he wants to buy it just so that he can shut it down. If he actually does that, that will be one of the most epic things that I have ever seen. What do y'all think? Let me know down in the comments.
All right, so as we see there, JD Delay says that Elon potentially might be trying to buy OnlyFans, and he said that also, that, which I didn't know about this, that OnlyFans is one of the biggest supporters of APAC. APAC is the American Israel something. Let me find it. American Israel something alliance. Here you go. American Israel. How do you say it? What is it? American Israel. Where's the name? APAC. The American Israel Public Affairs Committee. There we go. That's what it is. So he said that if he were to get it, he would shut down APAC, which then is excuse me. He said if Elon were to buy OnlyFans, then OnlyFans is one of the biggest supporters of APAC, and APAC is the right here, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee. It's a pro-Israel lobbying group advocating policies to the U.S. legislative and executive branches, which in some call one of the most influential lobbying groups in the U.S. It operates a political action committee that contributed significantly to candidate in 2024, with 96% of APAC-backed candidates winning their general election cases. So he's saying that if Elon Musk gets a hold of OnlyFans, he would shut it down. But if OnlyFans is putting money over to APAC, and then APAC supports APAC is a lobbying group that supports, you know, America or whatever, or America supports Israel, or however you look at it. I just don't see that happening. I mean, that's just too much money that's being tossed around, and ain't no way in hell, because right now Trump and Netanyahu is on the same page. So therefore, if Trump and Netanyahu's on the same page, Netanyahu is Israel, you finna shut down OnlyFans and stop OnlyFans, but OnlyFans is a big contributor to APAC. Like, bro, you ain't doing that. There ain't no way in hell. There ain't no way in hell. And let's see how much does OnlyFans contribute to APAC. Let's find that out real quick, because I mean, I know it does. It says OnlyFans owner pledged $11 million to Israel lobby reports, and that was during 2003 and 2024 election cycles, made them the largest donors in the internal document. So that was in 23 and 24. So there ain't no way that they finna shut that down. Now, it sounds nice, but I don't think Elon ready for those problems, because even though Elon's rich, I think somebody would still get a hold of Elon and black his eye, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Because he already came around with a black eye. Like, how the hell you that rich and you get a black eye? Like, who the hell got that close to you? Unless it's your spouse or something. But even then, like, nah, bro. Like, so I don't see that happening. I don't think Elon's gonna get OnlyFans and shut it down. If anything, probably some Islamists gonna get a hold of buy that OnlyFans. They finna exploit the hell out of those women, bro. They finna, yeah. I think Islam gonna get a hold of that OnlyFans, and this is gonna be like, boy, Islam gonna get a hold of that OnlyFans. They gonna purchase it. They gonna be like, yeah. They finna hit you in the name of Allah, boy, we gonna see a whole lot of hijabs on OnlyFans, and then they gonna be, because you know what happens, you know, this is what they say in Islam, or Islamist or whatever. They say in Islam, like, this one dude said it. He mentioned that if a man rapes a woman, then he has to marry that woman. I'm like, now, if that's my belief system, bruh, if that is my belief system, if I believed in that, which I don't, if I believed in that, I would buy OnlyFans. And do you know how many wives I would have? I'm just saying, if that's my belief system, do you know how many wives I'm having after I buy OnlyFans? Oh, all y'all in trouble, because I got all of y'all's information. I got your banks, I got your IDs, I got all that. Oh, goodness, I'm just saying. I mean, you're going to be in trouble, so you might want to be careful. All right, but anyway, let's get cracking on today's show. All right, so the first thing that we're going to dump into, speaking on the attacks of Islam that is doing in America, let's look at this first attack. Like, we're gonna take our way over to good old New York City, where Don't Mess with the Zohan resides. Now, if you know about Don't Mess with the Zohan, I believe, I heard, I didn't see it, I heard that he swore in on the Quran. And then I heard him speaking, Quran lingo or Arabic or whatever he was talking in the name of the great Prophet Muhammad, and he started saying all that stuff, right? So, starting off, the first attack that we're going to talk about on this show is going to be the attack that Don't Mess with the Zohan has put in the state of New York. And keep in mind that the two financial places in the world right now is going to be New York in North America, and then I believe London in Europe. Both of those have Muslim mayors. All right, so both of their mayors are Muslims. So just keep that in mind. However, the first attack that is done to America has come from Mr. Don't Mess with the Zohan. Let's check out this attack that Don't Mess with the Zohan has placed on America. Here we go. And remember, he's Islamist. So listen. So check this out.
New York is so gay.
Hello. And we're happy about it.
And we're happy about it.
Hello, New York City. It's me, Plasma, and I'm here in beautiful Crown Heights, Brooklyn, with Mayor Zohran Mamdani to officially invite Taylor Brown to be the first trans director of the Office of LGBTQIA Plus Affairs.
Now, somebody please correct me if I'm wrong. I might have misunderstood something, but I really thought that the Quran, Islam, was anti-gay people. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I was 100% positive that Islam was not about that gayness at all. Now, don't talk to me about things can change or whatever. I'm just saying, I thought, I was pretty sure that Islam does not do the LGBTQ. And what the hell is IA? I thought it was LGBTQ. What is IA? Let me find that out. But anyway, let's continue the video. Let's finish this video. Here we go.
The future is bright, the future is near, and the future is for us all.
This marks a historic day for New York City, as there has never been an Office of LGBTQIA Plus Affairs, nor has there ever been a director of any office in New York City government that identifies as trans. So come along with me to find out a little bit more about our newly appointed Director Brown. Hi, congratulations, Director. So you look amazing. Do you feel amazing, like in the way you look?
Well, I think that's the first step.
Period. Speaking of feeling amazing, I want to know what your hopes and goals and dreams are for this brand new directive that you are at the front of.
My hopes and goals and dreams have been the same as they have been since I came out as trans when I was 18 in rural North Carolina, to make sure that all transgender people have access to education, opportunity, work, and to be able to do and be whoever you want to be in this world, free from discrimination.
Now listen, I'm from Texas. You're from North Carolina. Girl, it's rough out here right now for the LGBTQIA community. Speaking of the nationwide impact that Mayor Mamdani has had on queer people, I'm wondering...
Okay, I've heard enough. I don't gotta hear no more. All I gotta say is this, is that as for right now, that may be the power move that, that they're putting, because, they're putting LGBTQ people in front, to lead the rush, because for some reason LGBTQ white liberal women, they support Islamist ideology and Sharia law and communism. They support that. However, little do they know little do they know that when the time comes, and the time and it will, when the time comes and them Islamists are on top, they gonna look right at them gay people, they gonna look right at them white liberal women, they gonna look at any women that's showing skin, and they gonna be like, hey,
FYM, fuck y'all motherfuckers,
And then them people gonna be like, oh, what? I thought we were in this together. And they gonna be like, look here, bitch. Shut up. They ain't trying to hear that. They gonna be like, first of all, Y'all get on top of that 16-story building. All right, now you got two ways to get down here. Either you jump or I push you. Pick one. And there's all you liberal women who not putting on this hijab. I'm gonna ask you nicely. I'm gonna ask you nicely to put this hijab on. I done messed up my soundboard. And if you don't, you finna catch these hands and feet and probably stones. I'm just saying. So the first attack that we have right here is I see that they're putting in people who are basically supporting their the Islamists are putting in people who are in support of their ideology, even though those people do not align with their belief system, you know, because they not about that gay stuff. The Islamist people, they don't support the gayness, and if they are, you got to hide that shit. But yeah, so this is, to me, this is an attack to get their agenda of Islamist and communism put in place. Because I believe there's a difference between an Islamist and a Muslim. I don't see them as the same. You know what I mean? I know some people that are Muslims and they cool as hell, and you know they live harmoniously. But these motherfuckers, these are some terrorists. These are some Islamist terrorists threatening people. So therefore, they have a political angle and ideology to get in to restructure and change a regime. So I look at this as like, this right here is a way to use somebody who you don't align with, but you know the left side of people align with this ideology. They align with this shit. And they're like, oh, yay, gay, go all the way, and liberal, and change, and women's rights. But when the time comes and they need to lay the smacketh downeth upon thee, bruh, they gonna change up and they gonna be like, hey, they're gonna be like, either put that hijab on or grab ankles and then get stoned. Pick one, because either you put it on or we gonna, because then if we grape you, then guess what? You're gonna have to marry us, but then I'm probably gonna beat the hell out of you while we're married. You see where this is going. They're using these people for their agenda. So they're getting the LGBTQ people, putting them in places only because they share the same ideology and mindset to push and to further the votes and to further what they want, because they're believing in what these people are talking about. But in the end, the Islamists are going to come down. They finna lay that pimp hand down on these people when the time comes, which I did do a video that this Iranian person wrote an article, and he basically broke down in detail how the hijab situation works, which I may pull up, I may not, but he spoke on how the I need my music. He spoke on how the left, what do you call it? The left wing. We'll just say the left wing. How the left wing and the far right Islam party, whatever you want to call it. You have the left wing, Democratic side or whatever, the liberal side, and they were merging together with the right wing Islamist side. What happens is they merge together. Their ideologies, they believe they're in the same. So the right side uses the left side. You know what I mean? The right side is using the left side, but the left side thinks that they're friends with the right side, but they're not. So they converged and used their minds, they use their similar mindsets to win everything politically. That's how Iran got taken over. That was one of the ways. The left side coincided with the right side Islamists, and they put their, likeness together. They put their political ideologies together to, overtake and overrule. But what happened was, as soon as they got into power, the right Islamists was like, all right, like, now that we up here, this town ain't big enough for the two of us, right? And basically, started doing executions, and, women were like, we're wearing the hijab to bring down imperialism and capitalism. And he was like, well, you gonna keep wearing that hijab or else I'm gonna cut your head off. And that wasn't a joke. He was serious about that shit. So this is just an attack to further the agenda, and these people won't find out how bad this shit's gonna be until it comes knocking on their door, and they gonna get their ass handed to them. It's gonna happen. They just don't see it coming yet. They don't read enough, but they believe in it. Anyway, Another thing that's happened is this right here. It says Muslim president would be the most pro-LGBTQ president in history, just like Mandami is the most pro-LGBTQ mayor in history. Here he is posing in front of a sign that says God is gay. Fariz apparently agrees that Allah is gay. Now, I mean, this, I don't see how you falling for this. This can't be, this is not it, bro. This is just like a Muslim president would be the most LGBTQ president in history. I mean, maybe so, maybe not, but it's a known fact that these people kill gay people. It's just a known fact. Now, there has been rumors that they've been saying that Khomeini's son might be undercover gay. There has been that rumor going around. I don't know if it's true or not, but you know, the Ayatollah Khomeini or whatever, he when he died from the Iranian thing, they say his son is one that's up now. That he's up to take power, and there's been rumors going around that allegedly he's gay, whatever the case may be. Regardless of what the case may be, it still doesn't change the fact that when you study the Sharia law or Islamist or how Muslim countries is ran, how they treat people who are gay, like, you don't get, it's not a fun place to be. Like, all this right here, they finna shut all this shit down when the time comes. Right now, they're using it to get put into power. They're using it to get put into play because they need to find a way to take down the communist regime. They need to find a way to change the regime. So to use the left side's ideology and couple it with the right side Islamist is the same playbook they use in Iran. They're using the same playbook and they're just coming over here with it. And when the time comes, bro, they gon', I mean, it's like this. It's like, think about it. When you look at the history, this one dude, this one is Islamist dude, I had put him on the show one time, and he was talking about Europe. He was like, don't quote me on this, but the gist of it was, he said, for 700 years, we have been trying to take over Europe, or we were trying to conquer Europe for 700 years, and we've been doing something wrong. And he's like, but now we finally got it. So I was like, 700 years you've been trying to conquer Europe? You have to think about the persistency, the how persistent and consistent and how focused and motivated and determined you must be to have an ideology for 700 years, do the same thing, and then finally after 700 years conquer their goal. Can you imagine? They not finna let that shit go. They not letting it go. So you have to think about that. The determination, the will, the consistency. I mean, like, they are focused on what they're trying to do. So if they're making that happen in Europe and they're bringing it over here, and we've been warned by the Iranian people how this is going to play out, and they try to warn us, but for some reason people don't listen and people don't read and people don't study. They believe that, you know, imperialism, capitalism is bad, but you can hate America as much as you want to. America is not perfect by far. It is not perfect at all. Not a perfect country. But from one thing I may be able to say, I can't say I got proof on this, but what I will say is this. Can you go to Russia, get on the internet and talk shit about Putin? Can you go to China and get on the internet and talk shit and speak very negative about what's the guy's name, Xing Pao or Xing, whatever his name is, whatever that guy is, the head guy in China? Can you go to North Korea? Well, no, you can't. Can you go to South Korea and talk shit about the South Korea dude on the internet and tell you and speak your feelings and say how much he sucks? Can you go to Saudi Arabia and get on a computer and say and talk shit about the person who runs Saudi Arabia and say how much they suck and you can't stand their ass? Where can you do that at? Where? Can you go to Mexico and talk shit about politics and stuff like that? Like, somebody's going to clap you. Somebody's going to reach out and touch you at some point. So my thing is, like, America is one of the very, very last few places you could do this at. It's not too many places you can go and speak freely. Can you go to Israel and talk shit and hate Netanyahu? Can you say what you want about Netanyahu in Israel? Can you go to Israel and just be like, I hate Netanyahu, and just sit there and harp on him? No, you probably cannot. Because he's already trying to shut down the hate speech over here in America. He way over in Israel. So that's what I'm saying here is, like, hate America all you want, but it's the only place, it's one of the few places, not the only place. Maybe it's one of the few places you could still go to and speak what you want freely without having to worry about somebody coming and you know, getting rid of you. But I digress. Okay, so now we have this pretty little snow bunny right here that we're gonna hear talk. She's gonna break down the situations that have been going on in America. And she's going to say that America has had enough of radical Muslims in their country. And she says that jihadists have done in the U.S. This is what the jihadists have done in the United States in the past week. And we're going to let her go ahead and talk for a minute and see exactly what it is that she's talking about all the attacks that America has had done on us in the past week. Well, it's probably about a 2-week old video. So in the past week and about 2 weeks ago, this is what she's going to talk about. So let's hear what she has to say. Let's hear what the little snow bunny here has to say and what she has to talk about with the attacks that have happened in America so far in March. Here we go.
Here's what jihadis have done in the U.S. in the last week. 1 shoots up a bar in Austin, Texas, kills 2, shoots 14. Another one lights a Molotov cocktail and throws it at Christians in New York City. Another one throws a nail bomb or shrapnel IED at Christians in New York City. Another one tries to bomb a Southwest flight going from Nashville to Fort Lauderdale. Another one throws another IED shouting Allahu Akbar at a protest near Gracie Mansion in New York City. Another one makes a bomb threat and forces a plane to land in Atlanta. Another one drops a bomb threat at Kansas City Airport. And the DHS is reporting that jihadi threats against churches across the U.S. right now are completely exploding. Radical Islam, for some reason, is the one religion that the left will fight for till their dying breath, for whatever reason. And Christianity is somehow always the problem.
Yeah, she's got a point on that. She do got a point on that. But, you know, she's named all those things that happened. Now, I went down and pulled up each one. And we'll go ahead and take a look at each one. And we'll go back to her and let her talk. And we'll go through one by one by one. I have some of them. I don't have all of them. But at least we can go through and see what all the ones that she's talking about. So let's go back to her. And she mentioned, first off, I'll do the first one because I do know the first one. The first one is a shooting that happened in Austin, Texas. If you don't know, 3 dead, 14 wounded in a person who they have a photo of, but the photo looked like it was taken with a Nokia phone back from 2004. But I digress. So here's the
Sources are now telling Fox the shooter was wearing clothing that said Allah on it, and he had on an undershirt with an Iranian flag on it. The FBI has just announced they are investigating this as a possible act of terrorism. Sources.
All right, so there's the first one. So that one there. We have the one that happened in Austin, Texas. So 3 were dead, 14 were wounded. And in the picture they have of the dude, this is the picture they got of that dude, bro. Look at this damn picture, bro. This the picture you got of somebody in 2026, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, really, this the picture you got of a person who did a shooting in 2026? Like, come on, bro. This is atrocious. Like, this is the shirt. This is what you got. And the thing is, if this is the gun he is holding, how the hell you walking with a gun that big in downtown Austin, bro, and ain't nobody see your ass? Ain't no way in hell. There's no way. There we go. But there's no way you have a gun. If this is a gun and it's that big, bro, there's no way you're walking downtown Austin, Texas, and nobody sees it. There is no way possible. There's no way, bro. There ain't no way. There's just no way. I just don't believe that. That don't make no sense. Let's see. What else do we have on this? Let's see. Where is it at? click on this thing. Where is he? No, I don't want his face. Get his face off the screen. I'm trying to pick up what this is. No, I can't find that. No, not that one. The Quiet of God. Goodness. All right, cool. Then the next thing she had mentioned something. I forget what she mentioned, but here's another one. This is she mentioned something in Tennessee. I don't know if it was Nashville or whatnot, but I have a Southwest Airlines flight 2094 from Nashville to Fort Lauderdale right here for you. It says that the Fort Lauderdale, Florida was forced to divert to Atlanta late last night after an Arabic-looking Muslim passenger on board the plane threatened to blow the plane up with a bomb. Oh my goodness. You can see the SWAT team apprehend the Muslim passenger while the terrified passengers were forced to put their hands up. Good Lord. All right, let's take a look and see what happened with the bomb threat in America. Here we go.
Let's go. Stand up. Everybody heads down. Stand up. Stand up.
Well, there's that. So we have the Tennessee alleged bombing of a bomb threat on a plane. So they had to divert that to Atlanta. So bro was on a plane, did a bomb threat. Thank God everybody was okay. That's unfortunate. Then we have another one in Kansas City International Airport. The next one that we have here. Good Lord. So another one in Kansas City. It says that the bomb threat chaos at Kansas City International Airport, evacuation in progress and full ground stop issued after reported bomb threat. Police and bomb sniffing dogs are sweeping concourses in terminals right now. So let's see this one right here. Let's see what we got on this one. So this is in Kansas City, unfortunately. So we got Kansas City with the issue. So Kansas City, Tennessee, Texas, these things are just slowly happening all across the map. All this stuff is going on, as you can see, one by one by one by one. And the lady named out a few other ones, but I can't find them all. But I'm just going through and seeing what I could find. And we have another one. Let's see, where the news channel, I don't know what news this is. This is Fox News. Let's see what Fox News has to say. Fox News has said that it was a terror alert, that security fears rise across the United States. This is a series of recent terror attacks. Let me pull it up for you. Linked to radical Islamist extremists are raising alarm throughout the U.S. security officials. Authorities have several attackers involved in plots and attacks in months were neutralized citizens originally from countries including Senegal, Lebanon, Turkey, and Afghanistan. Retired FBI Supervisor James warned America could face more ISIS-inspired attacks, pointing to an online propaganda networks that continue to radicalize individuals. This is a suicidal empathy we talk about all the time. I can't say his name. Gagliano said, warning that serious gaps in vetting and monitoring could leave the country exposed. And security experts say the threat is evolving and the next wave of attacks may come from radicalized individuals already inside the country. Well, I wonder, how did these people get inside the country? Can anybody figure out how these people get inside the country? Does anybody have an idea? You know, when you have open borders, you know, that's basically gonna kill your country from within, because if you have open borders, you let anybody in, that defeats the purpose of having your own country. Like, you have a castle. Why would you open all of your doors and your windows and not monitor anybody who breaks into your castle? Like, think about it. You have a home. Open it. To everybody who believes in open borders, let me say this. Let me say it to you like this, okay? Your country is your home. That's how you should see your country. Your country should be your home. If you don't like your home, leave. That's fine. Think of it like this. If you are at home, do you open all your doors and all your windows and sleep comfortably at night? watch TV at night, take a shower comfortably in your home with every window and every door open? Is that how you live? And you allow people, you let people know, hey, I have my windows and my doors open. I have food in the garage, I have food in the fridge, got food in the freezer, I have food in the pantry. You're welcome to come in and eat the food. You're welcome to come in and take a shower. You're welcome to come in and watch TV, play video games, use my computer. You're welcome to come in and freely do that. That is the equivalent of leaving your borders open. It's the same concept, no different. Whoever comes in, you don't check them. You don't tell them, hold on at the door. Can I see your ID? Because anybody can walk in. Anybody can walk in. It could be a terrorist. It could be a child rapist. It could be a murderer. It could be a molester. It could be anybody who walks in. It could be a Jehovah's Witness. It could be a pastor or a preacher. It could be anybody. It could be the nicest person you ever met. It doesn't matter. All of these people can come in, eat food as they like, take food as they like, disrespect you, use your shower, use your water, wear your clothes, wear your cologne, wear your perfume, take your tampons, whatever the case may be. That's the equivalent. It's the same concept. But then you can't complain when these people who come to your home decides to kick you out your home, or better yet, make you a slave inside the home and say, you know what, this house is dirty. I need you to clean this kitchen. And you're looking at them like, what do you mean? I'm letting you in my home. And they're like, yeah, I know, but this is my home now, and I need you to clean the kitchen and vacuum the floor. And then you're like, no, I'm not doing that. And then they start, then they put hands on you. They like, shut up. Then they beat your ass. And then they, hog tie you up for a couple of hours and then remind you who's the boss. And then now they close the doors and lock all the windows. And then they're like, all right, cool. I got like these 3 people in here, and they gonna be my slaves or my bitches. And then they gonna do as I say. So you gonna cook, you gonna clean, and you gonna do this and you gonna do that. And if you're done, I'm gonna beat you until you, understand who runs the show and follow these orders. So now you no longer own your home anymore. You ain't the king of your castle no more. You don't run your home anymore. Somebody else does, all because you want to be nice and open up all your borders and windows and doors to your place. So this is the same concept of open borders. It's the same concept, but people tend to don't grasp that. But when I say these things, don't look at the vessel. Don't look at the vessel like I keep trying to tell you. Look at the eyes. Look at the people. Look at the demon that's being possessed here. So if you have people that are on your side of your country screaming open borders, those vessels are gone. Like those spirits and those people are gone. There's a different person there's a different spirit inside that vessel that is making that person say these things so they can come in and do these things. It's just that the vessel looks like a person that you know, but it's a spirit. It's a demon that's inside that person that are telling other demons to come in. That's all it is. It's just that the demon is in the form of a vessel that you know, that looks familiar, that you're comfortable with, but you haven't discerned that the person that you're talking to is not the same soul or spirit. It's a fucking demon. It's a reptilian demon or something that's allowing the other ones from across the way to come in and fulfill their same satanic ideology. Anyway, let's continue. Let's see what they have to say about this right here. Here we go.
Anti-Semitism and allegiance to right way of life. The domestic threat level rising amidst growing anti-Semitism and allegiance to radical Islam.
And a series of recent terror attacks just this month alone, all with ties to naturalized U.S. citizens hailing from Senegal, Lebanon, Turkey, and Afghanistan. Retired FBI Supervisor James Gagliano warning
March 1st, March 7th, March 12th, and March 12th. So this was in Austin, Texas on the 1st of March, New York City on March 7th, Virginia, March 12th. And the synagogue attack was in Michigan on March 12th.
There needs to be a greater focus on this type of internal threat.
This is the suicidal empathy we talk about all the time.
All right, bro, shut up. Nobody want to hear what you got to say. But as you can see, America's being attacked from all different ways. And, excuse me, I think we have video footage. I can actually show you the video footage. Oh, yeah, I got it. Maybe I could show it. Hopefully YouTube doesn't get mad at me for showing this. We'll find out. And if I have to delete this out, I will. But we're going to see. So we have the 2 teens who did the incident at the mayor's home. So at Don't Mess with the Zohan's home, there was 2 teens that tried to throw a bomb at his home, and Zohan tried to say it was white supremacy. But if you look right here, you can clearly tell that these 2 teens looks like a couple of members in his family that he paid off to do this. But he's gonna tell you it was white supremacy. But we're gonna watch this clip. Hopefully YouTube doesn't say anything about it, but if so, we'll just have to open up a Patreon and just start putting this stuff on Patreon and keep it moving. Anyway, here's the clip, and there's the white Arab and there's the other white Arab. But let's see what happens. Here we go.
A chaotic scene erupted Saturday when a young man threw a lit improvised explosive device into an anti-Muslim protest near the residence of New York City's first Muslim mayor, Zohran Mamdani. Within seconds, officers tackled the suspects, 18-year-old Amir Balad and 19-year-old Ibrahim Kayumi. The suspects, who drove from Pennsylvania, are accused of carrying homemade explosive devices.
All right, well, as we can see, those were the white supremacists. Those are the white supremacists that Zohan, that don't mess with the Zohan, mentioned. He said, hey, there's this, that, he said that was rooted in white supremacy. Yeah, so those 2 were white supremacists. So shame on you white people for all the white supremacy that you guys caused. You guys got to cut this out. Oh, let me show you some more white supremacy real quick too, by the way. This is the same attack. Here's the I don't know, wait, this might not be the same attack. I think this might be the Gracie Mansion or something. But anyway, here's another white supremacist attack. So check out this white supremacy attack again. Here we go.
Outside, and then tell everyone else.
Yo, this nigga threw a bomb, bro. Yo, he threw a bomb. Yo, did he throw a bomb, bro?
Outside, and then tell.
Well, there's your white supremacist right there. Oh my God. He said, Allahu Akbar, and threw a explosive device. I'm like, and doesn't that mean God is greater? And you out here throwing bombs in the middle of place. Like, come on, calm down, bro. Calm down, bro. Somebody get that young man some coochie. Get that young man some coochie. He needs to calm down, bro. He got too much rage. That's the problem. That's the problem. Somebody needs to just, like, one of you lovely ladies needs to give that young man a piece of ass so he can go calm down for a minute, bro. Because little man's a little bit too much high strung. And I get it. You know, you're young, you're youthful, your testosterone's high, you're going crazy, you know what I mean? You can't help yourself, but, like, bro, you out here throwing bombs, bro? Like, calm down, bro. In the name of Allah? Is it that serious, bro? You sure you're not? You sure you're not possessed? Are you sure somebody didn't astral project inside of your body and they using your vessel? You sure one of these reptilian demons ain't using you, bro? Are you sure? I think that's what's going on. So then we get painted a picture. So then we get painted a picture of stuff that's happening, but it's not really happening. You know what I mean? It's the same. It looks like the same people, but the demon, the evil is still the same. It's the same demon. It's the same evil. So regardless of what happens, whether it's like these kids throwing bombs, whether it's a bomb threat on an airplane, it doesn't change the fact, bro. It's the same demon. All these demons are doing the same agenda. Confusion, deception, manipulation, all for the worst. Those are tactics of evil. That's what you pay attention to. Like, regardless of everything I'm showing you, don't stray from the fact that it's the same demon. It's the same reptilian evil demon. It could be in anybody. So don't let the Arab, Muslim, Islamist, you see liberal white women, different color but same demon. That's the thing I want you to, that's what I want you to think about. It's the same evil spirit that's running and driving these people. This demon is running rampant. It's this reptilian evil demon. It's the same agenda that they have that they're putting on everybody. That's all it is. It's just in the name of confusion, but they're channeling everybody down to the same outcome. You know what I mean? Like, they're trying to finagle you to the same outcome with confusion, but the demon is the same. He's just really good at what he does. You know what I mean? They use astral projecting. I believe they use astral projecting, and they steal and they use vessels of people, and then they further out their plan. The vessel could be your politician, your president, your prime minister, your members of parliament. It could be anybody, bro. It could be anybody. Your military general, hell, your favorite YouTuber, your favorite singer, songwriter, actor, actress, homeless person down the street, college kid at school. The astral projection of a demon can go into anyone. It can be anybody, anything. And I think now, I believe that they're trying to change the name astral projection to sleeper cells. They're trying to change it to sleeper cells. Like, oh, these people with sleeper cells. Like they could be anybody, you know, they got sleeper cells inside. They could be your next door neighbor. It's like, bro, it's a fucking demon, bro. It's the same reptilian demon that blends in and works at your hospital. Probably is your damn doctor that's probably grabbed your balls and told you to cough and look to the left 3 times. You know what I mean? Look to your left, cough, probably to squeeze your balls, put a thumb up your ass and everything. It's probably your doctor is the reptilian demon. You never know. It could be anybody, anything, but it's the same evil. It's the same evil. It doesn't change the fact. So that's what I want you to pay attention to. Don't look at the vessel. Don't look at the flesh. Pay attention to the evil, the demon that's inside of these people. It's the same demon. The demon don't change. The vessel does. The vessel changes. It's like scary movies, you know what I mean? Like we've had scary movies of all sorts. Killers came in all forms. Texas Chainsaw, Jason, Freddy, Wishmaster, Candyman, Chucky. I mean, just go down the list of killers that we've had. You know what I mean? Like, what's that? American Horror Story, all the different ones that they had. What's the one with Christian Bale? American Psycho, Silence of the Lamb. Like, they all look different. Some are sophisticated, some are smart, some are downright evil, but it was a different vessel, but it was the same evil. Didn't change the fact of what they was doing. And that's what we're seeing here today. Different vessel, same evil. Look past the vessel, look at the demon. It's the demon spirit that's hiding in the vessel and is trying to play us like we stupid. Because, like I said, the CIA has done astral projection. We should be able to know how to astral project and speak to our ancestors. Because our ancestors and Yahshua and Yahweh and Yahshua and our ancestors and Thor Melchizedek, those are people who will protect us and keep us protected from these evils. But if you don't have any shield or nothing to protect you, then you're a lost cause. Like, you finna get got. You need some kind of form of protection around you. But they know that you're too busy looking at this vessel. They know that you're too busy looking at this flesh. They like, we finna go around this fool. Because he ain't got no protection. He ain't got no shield. He ain't got no armor. Bro, armor is like -10. Anybody play Diablo out there? If your armor is -10 in Diablo, what's gonna happen? I don't care how strong your person is, bro. You finna get killed on the first hit. But anyway, we got this next video that we finna watch. This lady, she's gonna say follow the money. She's gonna speak on following the money. She says that Greg Abbott himself has received millions from Pakistani business owners and why you would expect him to stop a Muslim invasion in Texas. Let's hear what she has to say. Take it away.
I'm going to tell you why it's always important to follow the money, and we're going to start with a Pakistani man named Syed Javad Anwar. Now, Anwar was elected to the Texas Board of Higher Education in 2015 by Greg Abbott. Now, who is this random Pakistani man? He's actually the owner of Midland Energy. Midland Energy obviously produces oil and gas for the state of Texas, and although appointed in 2015 to the Texas Board of Higher Education, in 2020 you'll be glad to know that he was Greg Abbott's top donor of $5,599,500 for the 2020 election. But wait, it gets better, because in 2024 he was also the top donor with $6,120,268. But wait, it gets even better, because in Greg Abbott's current election cycle, this man has already become the top donor with a whopping $2,897,086. Now, with a Pakistani man being his top donor, you don't bite the hand that feeds you. So if you're ever sitting here questioning why Greg Abbott isn't putting a stop to the Islamic invasion happening in Texas, there's your answer. All of this is readily available and anybody in the public can view it, but you can go to transparencyusa.org to view all of the contributions and donations that Greg Abbott has gotten during his election and prior elections.
All right. Shout out to her for doing her research. Now, she put that out at the beginning of January of 2026. Let me give her a round of applause. Shout out to her. Now, also, if you know anything about Texas, and what's his name? Greg Abbott is the governor of Texas. So in Texas is one of the big places that they're trying to do an Epic Center. Epic Center is the East Plano Islamic Center, where they're trying to make Texas, they ground zero, they stomping grounds, you know what I mean? Because Texas is so damn big. So they're trying to make it one of the, it's basically, they trying to make Texas the Mecca, is what they're trying to do. And if you pay attention to what she just said, and then you couple it with what I'm about to show you next, how they get this much money. They have houses, they got homes, they got mosques, they got shopping centers, they have streets with Islamic names, Islamic everything in this Epic Center, only for Muslims. Anybody else cannot have it. They are not, they are not, what's the word, converging with the society. I forget the word, but they're not assimilating with the society. So they're having their own stuff in Texas, and they're slowly building it up and getting it all put together. And they've already taken out, churches and things like that, and replacing some churches with mosques. And they're doing all this stuff here. And this lady has found out that $4 billion of taxes has been fueling the Islamization of Texas since 2017. Let's let this lady break this down right here. She says over $4 billion in U.S. taxpayer dollars have been routed to Islamic entities nationwide. Call our own money fueling our demise in a recent House Judiciary hearing on Sharia and political Islam. Texas is ground zero. Let's go ahead and see what this lady has to say. Here we go.
Texas is ground zero for the Islamic conquest of America. We are deep into a 1,400-year Islamic immigration conquest pattern, a patient, relentless strategy of settlement, infiltration, and eventual dominance. The Muslim Brotherhood's 1991 explanatory memorandum entered in federal court calls it a, quote, civilization jihadist process to destroy the West from within. That plan has been capturing Texas for over 35 years. We now have over 330 mosques. CARE calls them, quote, our infrastructure. Erdogan calls them, quote, our barracks. At least 650 Islamic nonprofits channeling influence. Dozens of Islamic scholars and banks promoting Sharia compliance finance. More than $4 billion in taxpayer funds routed to Islamic entities since 2017. Our own money fueling our demise.
Own taxpayer money fueling the demise. Now, how ironic that when you see that they're using taxpayer money since 2017, and ever since the Strong Flu 19 came out, or slightly prior, they were harping, they were screaming for the longest, a new normal, a new normal, a new normal, a new normal. They were making sure you knew a new normal was on the horizon. And people couldn't really understand what a new normal meant. They didn't get it. They thought like new normal meant that we were going to be wearing masks all the time. Which in a sense, maybe you could say that. I mean, the women probably be wearing hijabs in this new normal. But we didn't see that the new normal was going to be an Islamic regime trying to take over the country. And how ironic, right, that you have a situation like this is going on and they're building all this stuff, and at the same time the family structure of America is being destroyed. I mean, obliterated, because men and women can't get along at all, and they're just like, I mean, I don't know how to explain it better than just to say, since 2017, 2018, you've had content that has had a strong push towards, you know, women and feminism of don't need of feminism saying that they don't need men, blah 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 blah. But then you also had the pushback on the other end of men saying, you know, well then I'm just gonna step out the game and I'm not gonna play the game anymore. I'm just gonna leave. But it's really interesting that when you look at it, in this thing called they have a thing called the manosphere, and in this thing called the manosphere, pretty sure people are pretty familiar with the manosphere and the content of where they make content about men and women, about the clash between American men and American modern women. And we all know that since social media came out, women have been, you know, basically selling their bodies, selling sex, whether it's feet pictures, twerking, OnlyFans, Fansly, whatever it is, you name it. Like, women have been selling their bodies and selling themselves for sex, and they've been doing it hardcore. And then since they've been making money, they've been like, oh, we're leveling up, we're becoming better, we're leveling up, we're doing this, and we're leveling up. And then at the same time, as they level up, they change the way they act. They go from acting feminine to acting masculine. They become masculine in nature. And then in order for them to rise up, you have to take what the men have and subtract it and give it to them. So what the men had, they took it away from some men and they gave it to women, and it kind of elevated the women up a little bit. So then men realize that, you know, that they'll get destroyed in court, and realizing that the women that they're dealing with, a lot of them are harlots that they're dealing with. And then women want men to still be traditional, but the women are not being traditional because they're being masculine and they're not being feminine. So it causes this constant bicker. And then you have this rise of feminism in women hating men and patriarchy, and then a reaction to that called the manosphere, where men are like, hey, like, we're not going to play this game. You women are doing hookup culture and only dealing with the top 10 or 20% of men and all this stuff. Well, while all that is going on, ironically, right, you had people who rose to the top of this thing called your manosphere. And in that thing, you had high-powered names. You had one guy who was really at the top, Kevin Samuels. You had another group called Fresh and Fit, and then it just goes down and down and down from there. Well, if you know Kevin Samuels, he was pro-marriage. He was trying to get the black community to get this shit together and to marry each other, and to try to get them to get them, you know, in harmony with each other, to understand, like, hey, we have a problem here. We're trying to fix it by getting the black man and black woman married. And he was able to point it out and be very articulate and speak well with how he was doing, but he got nothing but pushback from the black women because, you know, the modern woman is so far gone, because this has been going on for decades. This has been a inside internal thing that's been going on inside family structures for decades. And he was like pinpointing it out, but he was also still trying to save marriage within the black community. He was really trying, and he was doing the best that he could, but he was just one man up against a giant. Unfortunately, he loses his life, and it seemed like it was foul play, but, you know, you can't say. Well, then the next runners up you have is Fresh and Fit. Fresh and Fit are these two guys, which is going to be Myron Gaines and I forget the other guy's name, Walter Weeks, I believe. Well, between these two people, you have these two guys right here. Where are you at? Let me find a picture of you two real quick. Where are you? Here you go, right here. You got these two, right? All right, so you have these two right here. Come on, pull them up. All right, I'll just do this right here. So you have these two right here. So you got this guy right here, Myron Gaines, and you have Walter Weeks. So Walter Weeks is, you know, you can tell he's a Jamaican. I think he's a black dude. He's Jamaican. However, this guy right here is the one I want you to pay attention to. So this guy right here, this is Myron Gaines. Okay, AKA he has a different name that he goes by, Abdul Fumel or whatever his name is. He was a Homeland Security person. He's from Homeland Security. He used to work for Homeland Security, and then ironically, he decided to start this Manosphere podcast with this dude. And he is a Muslim, all right? And ironically, he is one of the, you know, top people of the so-called Manosphere content. And he's a Muslim, and he's creating a huge divide between men and women inside of American culture, but he's a Muslim in an American country. So he doesn't, because America is a Christian nation, all right? That's what America is mainly. They're a Christian nation, but you got this guy who is a Muslim who is speaking on dividing the family unit in America as a Muslim. Used to be Homeland Security, dropped that, and became a huge media dude in his manosphere content, which in the way he talks, he doesn't speak family unit. He doesn't speak family structure. He speaks everything anti-family, which would be a huge positive for the Muslim community if you're an Islamic terrorist trying to take down America from within, if you're a part of the Muslim Brotherhood plan of 1991 of North America to destroy and conquer America. So I just find it, I don't believe in coincidences. It's extremely ironic how this guy, who is a Muslim, who rises to the top in his manosphere content, and he speaks extremely negative about the family unit between man and woman, and is able to pursue and push a wedge to younger generations or younger audiences. But at the same time, we have a Islamic attack going on in America, but also the manosphere content, this guy's supposed to be at the top, but he's a Muslim, and all he does is just talk shit and talk negative about Americans. But you're a Muslim, and in my eyes, you're an Islamic terrorist is what I would say you are. I'm not saying that you are a terrorist, but I would say that you play for the Muslim side. I would say you're on the Muslim side of things, and you're not pro-American, you're not pro-Christianity, you're not pro-helping America become better. I just don't see that. Actions speak louder than words is what I'm looking at. So as you see, America is constantly getting attacked from the inside. Like the Islamists have a bunch of different attacks that are coming from the inside, and you can't ignore it. You can't ignore it at all. Like, you can't ignore it. And to nail the nail in the coffin, we have this one dude who says, "Welcome to the Islamic State of America." And he's going to say, "Time to learn some Arabic and tell your wives to put on burqas." He says, "Muslims are taking over your country, starting with New York, and you better get used to Sharia law." So let's hear this guy speak on this and see what he says, and to look at some more Islamic attacks coming to America. Here we go.
Okay, Mega, it's time that you learn Sharia law. Now that we Muslims are slowly taking over your country, starting with New York soon, inshallah. And then not only are we taking over your country, we're bringing in communism. So you better get used to the idea of giving up your money and share it with the poor. And yeah, just a few things you gotta know about Sharia law. No more pork, so that's that shit has to go. Then you're gonna have to pay some sort of tax for being non-Muslim, of course. And yeah, so it's time to learn some Arabic, and yeah, time to put your wives in burqas, because that's going to be next. So yeah, so welcome to the Islamic State of America.
And there you have it. As you can see, it's already a well-devised plan that's been put into action. They've been putting this plan into action for a very, 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 very long time. As you can see, they know what they're doing. It's not a hidden fact, you know what I mean? Anything if you're being called any names or anything like that, it's just a part of their plan to stop you from calling them out. But, you know, you're just being bullied at that point, you know? So it is what it is at the end of the day. Just to let you know, just to show you what's happening on the inside. And if you need a better understanding as to the different stages of Islam, and this is going to be the last video, and I'm going to get up out of here. Sam, what is your name? Sam Shamoun? Hopefully I said your name right. He's going to break down the 3 stages of Islam. And this should tell you what stage that we're at when we look at Islam. Are we at stage 1, stage 2, stage 3? He's going to break down how Islam works and how it works in stages to let you know what part they're in anytime they come to a country and they intend to invade. So listen to what he has to say. It's the last video of the day or of the show, and listen to how he breaks this down and tell me what stage we are in as Americans. Here we go.
This is what will happen if the Muslims become the majority in the U.S.
Islam in America is not real Islam. It's not.
If you study the history of Muhammad, if you look at his evolution from him starting off claiming to be a prophet to then becoming a warlord, this is Islam, depending on what stage you find Muslims in. I like to break down the stage of Islamic expansion in three. First stage is when you're outnumbered, because the chapters of the Quran are divided into two periods. The Meccan period, the Medinan period. The Mecki, Madani. The Meccan period, so when Muhammad claimed to be a prophet in 610 AD, in Mecca, he was outnumbered by the disbeliever. They're the ones who had the power, they had the money, they had the control. During that stage, the message of Islam, one of more, let's preach and see who's right, but if you disagree, to your religion, to my religion. That's stage one. So when he said it's not real Islam, well, they're in the same circumstances Muhammad was when he was outnumbered. So what part of Islam will they implement? Stage one. When the people in control, in charge,